Come. Christ is risen. Christos Anesti. On Thursday of this week, I walked in the National March for Life, which is Canada's march to advocate for life in the face of the loosest laws in the world that we have in our country when it comes to abortion, that is ending the lives of babies in the womb at will, freely, at will. And also to advocate for life in face of the loosest laws when it comes to the so-called medically assisted death that is in fact assisted and in some cases encouraged suicide is the better term. That is ending someone's life when they are terminally ill. The freedom of a person to decide to end their own life when they are terminally ill, which in of itself, the word terminally ill has become a very loose term also. I truly believe in advocating for life, and we all must as Orthodox Christians. And we must not be iffy about this subject. ما في نص بالنص. And we should not be shy. ما لازم نستحي من هالموضوع. It is the one cause in which you are voicing the voice of those who have no voice, and of those who have no choice. In this march, that was really nice experience. I would like to repeat it every year. There wasn't an apparent Orthodox presence, unfortunately. And if I may be honest with you, I was hoping that more than 4 parishioners would join me in the march. I'm sure most couldn't join because it was a working day. Although it is a cause worthy of making arrangements to be in, even if you have work, if possible. But most importantly, I really hope that the reason of our shy presence is not because some of us don't agree with the church's stance on this subject. بتمنى ما يكون ضعف مشاركتنا بسبب انه في منا ما بيوافق على رأي الكنيسة بهالموضوع. And I also hope it isn't because we are afraid to express our opinion in today's hostile society, being afraid for our jobs or anything else. ولا مرة تخافوا تقولوا الحقيقة لأنه هي منا بس حق لإلكن، هي واجب علينا. Never be afraid to say the truth. It is not only your right but also your duty. So the point is, I walked alongside a very beautiful, large Ukrainian Catholic delegation in this march. Beautiful people, faithful people who came with their clergy and buses of their faithful to the march. And all they did while walking in the march, you know what? All they did is sing Christ is risen. It's like on repeat for an hour. Arabic, English, Slavic, Greek, French, whatever they know, different melodies, and they just kept saying Christ is risen. That's all they did. Christ is risen from the dead, trampling down death by death, and to those in the tombs bestowing life. Different melodies and different languages. And then while walking in the march, it hit me, a moment hit me, and I thought, yes, Christ is risen, and this is why life matters. Today is also Mother's Day, when we remember how God gave half the population, approximately, the most special gift to give life, and to nurture it, and to make it valuable and eternal. Today is also the first Sunday after Pascha, known as Sunday of St. Thomas, but also Al-Ahad al-Jadid, the new Sunday, Sunday of renewal. as nature also around us renews itself in this season. And all these are related to each other. I think you would all agree with me if I tell you that we are living in times when values are degenerating. عم بتموت القيم بمجتمعنا. Values are dying. وعم نعيش بفترة انحطاط أخلاقي. And I want to tell you something. I believe that the beginning of the demise of our society happened, بلش هالانحطاط, when we took away the beauty, the power, and the prominence of motherhood. When we told every mother that her being a mother is a side job. بلش الانحطاط لما بلشنا نخبر امياتنا انه ما بكفي انك تكوني ام. انك تكوني ام هو شيء ثانوي. When we told our mothers that they need something better, that they need something more fulfilling. For example, education, careers, relationships. This was a lie that ignited all the social demise that we experience today. Of course, having the most successful careers and education is a blessing for a man and for a woman. Don't get me wrong. But when you think about how powerful the ministry of motherhood is, and how it can change the direction of the world, خدمة الأمومة بتغير مسار العالم كله, then you will know that this is the most sacred ministry. This is the most sacred ministry, and everything else is a side job. Everything else is a side job in comparison to motherhood. Not motherhood is the side job. Mothers were controlling the world, my beloved in Christ, by raising and directing the world. They were dictating the world. And then we told them, this is not enough. Then we told them, this is not enough. Then we told them, this is not wholesome. Then we told them, this is not sufficient. You are lacking if you are only a mother. You need something more. More than what? More than controlling the world? And then we made our mothers and our women feel that if they are not doing 100 things, they are lacking. They are not successful. We hurt women, we hurt our mothers by making them feel that they are less. It is not true that before women were less and today they are equal. Even if they were not equal before, due to the brokenness of humanity, don't think that we've achieved any equality today. If anything, we have made it worse, because now we are asking every person, man or woman, that you have to be running, doing 1,000 things, or else you're not sufficient as a human being. And then the confusion started, and the stress started, and the anxiety started with all of us, men and women. And the pace of life, صارت سرعة الحياة, the speed of life that our world requires. Because both alike, men and women, are running around, each of them having 100 responsibilities. A pace which no one can keep up with and remain healthy spiritually and mentally. And then we see stress and mental illness and people getting physically sick. And then people resorting to compensating what is lacking with addictions, with different substances, with different medications, bad habits, addictions. Yes, I know this will not sit well with some people, but think about it again. Of course, I have to repeat, I wish I don't have to repeat, but Abuna is not saying that women are not to have careers and education. Bil'akis, on the contrary. But what I am saying is that as successful as anything a woman achieves in life, there is nothing more sacred, more beautiful, more superior, and more wholesome than the sacred ministry of the motherhood. You are a mother first and foremost. and then whatever else of a blessed thing you need to do in your life depending on your circumstances. Then comes everything else. And if we want to start to reverse all the chaos and the craziness in the world around us, the confusion of roles, the confusion of genders, the death of morals in our society, and every weird direction the world is going towards, if we want to start to change that, if you're tired from that and you want to start to reverse that, we need to re-empower mothers, the ministry of motherhood. The mother is the most important figure in society. It is the most important thing a woman can do when and if God blesses her to do so, of course. قلوها مثل ما هي. Say it as it is. ما تخافوا. Support mothers. دعموا الأمهات. Support women by saying it out loud. Don't tell women you are better than just being a mom. Tell her, you who are called to this sacred ministry of motherhood are the most powerful person in the world. You are the human reason why we have saints. You are the reason why we have hope in this world for the upcoming generations. Only you have that, mother, and we will support your ministry and empower it unconditionally. Tell her, your baby is an asset for us, humans. Thank you, not a burden. Don't tell her your baby is a burden that will hinder your chances of living a luxurious life. That's what's happening. To summarize this, what I'm trying to say, I saw a video recently of someone saying, he said, it makes me very upset that we live in a world where if someone asks a woman or a young woman, what do you want to be? What do you want to be to do? She feels ashamed to say, I want to be the best mother in the world. We as a society have also decreased the value of life. We are told to run behind mortal and vain glories and goals in life. And then everyone ends in disappointment. Everybody, disappointment after disappointment in life. Because we are chasing things that don't bring us joy. This is why it is normal that many people do not value the life of babies in the womb. Because they don't value their own lives to start with. And this is why many people don't value the life of a terminally ill person, who is a very important person, even for the people around him, especially for the people around him. In his suffering, the value he brings to his family, serving him until the last moment, is invaluable. Our society has diminished the value of life and the value of motherhood. What is the result? Just look around you. You see the results. But guess what? Christ is risen. And the resurrection of Christ can change all of that. On Pascha, I told you that the resurrection is why it is worth waking up every moment. I told you it is why it is worth breathing, serving, walking in nature, singing, working, being a parent, anything. Because it gives you something better. Christ destroyed death and granted us life. And our society, through the two things I mentioned, that is diminishing the role of the motherhood, the ministry of the motherhood, and denying that life is from the womb until the last moment, among other things, is refusing this life that Jesus Christ is giving us. And we need to reverse this. نحن بدنا نبلش بحياتنا الشخصية نغير, to change. And the witness of St. Thomas and all the disciples is your motivation to do so. They went to the end of the world and gave their life to Christ, who gave them life. That is because they saw him, they witnessed him. They gave him their life. They went to the end of the world and died for him. And this is your weapon to start changing, to start reversing. The faith and the faithfulness that these disciples had to the Lord is my weapon to strive to be like them. And we need to live by that. I call you to live resurrectionally. This word doesn't exist in the dictionary. I want you to live resurrectionally. تعيشوا بطريقة قيامية, in a resurrectional way every day in your life. Every day say to yourself, at every milestone, at every decision, at every challenge, I will live resurrectionally. For Christ is risen.